Rabbi Levine, and I am here to speak with you today about sacred charity. Who deserves our support, and what should we give them? It is our duty as God's people to supply the poor of all races and religions, both American citizens and foreign immigrants living under the poverty line, with financial aid in the basic needs that they need for survival. In this sacred act of Tzedaka, or charity, the U.S. government in this progressive era should have a greater hand in distributing wealth and therefore should enforce an income tax based on the amount of income each person earns. If the government, a source we can always rely on, institutes this income tax that serves as the basis for welfare services, we can pursue God's work on earth by distributing wealth among the poorer classes, which can reduce or eliminate poverty as a whole. It is our job to fulfill God's destiny that He has set out for us, and in fulfillment of this destiny, we must ensure that all the children of God have all their basic needs fulfilled. As Seymour Siegel believed, it is of the utmost importance that we maintain the lives of those who cannot maintain their own. By using this method, in the end, the wealth or property of one would become the wealth of many, and the sharing or distribution of this money would make for a better society and perhaps a better civilization as a whole. Just as Andrew Carnegie sought to explain in his famous speech, The Gospel of Wealth, the responsibility of charity should fall solely on the individual wealthy entrepreneur. This charity principle, required for the more fortunate members of society, is what ultimately seeks to assist society's lower classes, including the impoverished, the unemployed, the handicapped, the sick, foreign immigrants, and the elderly. Andrew Carnegie believed that the rich only made their money off of other people. These cruel and ruthless businessmen known as robber barons would stop at nothing to achieve great wealth, and in doing so they would go to great lengths to exploit workers, force horrible working conditions, and unfair labor practices among their laborers. Among these oppressed peoples include the poorest members of society. These poor individuals living under the poverty line work under the most wretched and appalling conditions, earning little pay for hours on end of tough manual labor. These impoverished souls, or those living under wage slavery, live in the most compact and filthy homes without any heating or running water, and in most cases live in tenements with up to a dozen other people. As it reiterates throughout Upton Sinclair's novel, The Jungle, these poor individuals live in a society where corrupt and indecent capitalists control the mechanisms of the economy that pay low wages and then swindle these immigrants out of these wages with poor quality goods and overpriced services. The immigrants and other poor American workers have no real ability to break out of the economic cycles that have kept them figuratively chained to their jobs. All of their money must go towards low-quality goods and services that keep them in poverty, meaning that they cannot advance themselves in society. These immigrants, according to Sinclair, are tricked into the beliefs that they can find steady work, high wages, and a comfortable life in America. In Judaism, we support the idea that every life is infinitely valuable and that everyone deserves the most out of life. By pursuing charity and tzedakah through the act of wealth distribution from the wealthier to the poorer, the evils and the corruption of this unrestrained capitalist economy can thus be avoided. As it solidifies in Ketubot Vote 68a, we must give to those who are truly in dire need of our financial support, not those with fake pretenses who pretend to be in need but are far better off. As Aryeh Cohen suggested in his article, The New Sodomites, the wealthy are selfish and greedy. Like the Sodomites, the wealthy would rather hoard their wealth than fairly distribute it among the members of the community. These wealthy Sodomites were truly arrogant, for they had all the resources to pursue the act of charity, and yet they refused to support the members of society who were impoverished and in dire need of support. Furthermore, the wealthy are selfish, and the government should enforce upon them to distribute their wealth among the people who are in need. Tzedakah, not only a mere source of financial aid, can also be used as a way of support in other forms. For instance, the wealthy don't only have to distribute their money among the people, but they can also use their wealth for causes that can support these impoverished peoples in other ways. By collecting large sums of money, we can build additional food kitchens and more settlement houses for those without shelter and for those living under starvation. In building these facilities, we can bring together the rich and the poor to establish a community that is self-sustaining. These settlement houses need to be built to help out the poor immigrants who were forced into living in compact and filthy tenement houses, as well as other American citizens living under unfortunate conditions. These facilities are just one step in helping alleviate poverty within cities and in helping individuals gain education, health care, and in helping them enhance their culture. With wealth distributed and used to build necessary infrastructures, we can help strengthen the lives of individuals, families, and the community as a whole. Just by the government enforcement of one income tax, the wealth of one can become the wealth of many and can increase social welfare, creating a better, more sustained society overall. As Maimonides makes apparent in chapter 9 of the Mishneh Torah, we should always give charity to those who ask and are in dire need of it. Furthermore, in supporting Maimonides' ideals, with the distribution of wealth riding on the shoulders of many wealthy entrepreneurs of society, those who accept charity can keep all their valuables or belongings. In Judaism, it is the duty of individuals to perform charitable and philanthropic acts that can not only better the lives of the members of our society, but can truly enhance our own lives as well. Through our Yetzer HaTov and our Yetzer Hara, our good inclination and our bad inclination, we can find the middle ground that makes it a priority to care and support for those in need around us. Furthermore, to increase the social welfare of the community and to help alleviate poverty, it is vital that the government takes control over the marketplace by enforcing an income tax that forces wealth to be distributed from one individual to the many less fortunate members of society. With this individual financial responsibility, we can help better the lives of those in need, build facilities that foster supports by way of food and shelter, and most importantly, we can fulfill God's work on earth by helping maintain the lives of those who cannot maintain their own. So God's people, to all created in His image, give tzedakah or charity to these poor immigrants and poor American citizens who lack in the necessities that we are so lucky to have and who fight for their lives each and every day while working and living under the roughest and most unimaginable conditions. Thank you.